Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2021 Range Rover Velar R-Dynamic HSE. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to Land Rover of Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Velar. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. Under the hood of the Velar, we have a turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. It is paired to a mild hybrid system. Total system output is 395 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 19 around town and then 25 on the highway. Now let's go over the front end of the Velar. So first off, you've got the Range Rover logo front and center, and then I love the black accenting here on the side that also says Range Rover on it. And then coming down below, we've got the full LED lights with all of the LED accent lights right in this little area. And then we've got our venting just down below that with some parking sensors and some more venting here. And then you've got the cool design here with the front grille. It's very Range Rover-esque, and then it does say Land Rover right there off to the side. But yeah, overall, it's definitely really good looking from the front end. And I did want to mention one more thing. I love the front splitter design here. I think it just looks really good here on the Velar. Definitely gives it a much more aggressive look. Coming on the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 22-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then this also does have torque vectoring via braking, which I think is a pretty neat feature to have. And then taking a closer look at the wheels, they've been completely blacked out on this one, which I think looks really good. Definitely contrasts nicely to the silver paint, and it goes with all the other black accenting on this R-Dynamic. You get a tiny R-Dynamic badge right there, and then I love how you have the black stripe that goes all along there, and then a larger one along the bottom portion. And then notice more black accenting right there, blacked out mirror, and then notice how the whole roof has been blacked out, and then also the pillars, so it gives it kind of like a floating roof line design. But that's everything for the side. Now let's pop into the back of the Velar. So first off, we have Range Rover right here, which is nice that you actually get that on the floor mats, and it's a nice metallic plaque. And then we have these latches right here that'll actually lower down the second row. We've got a 12-volt there on the side, and then we have these buttons right here which will raise or lower the rear end, so then you can get into the back or throw things in the back a little bit easier. And then we do have a cargo cover on top of that. But my favorite part is under the floor mat. They give you a beautiful leather strap to get to your spare tire. Every other car maker just does a plastic latch, but not Range Rover. They give you a nice leather strap. I think that's pretty neat, but that's everything for the rear. Now let's go over the rear of the Velar. First off, we'll start off with the taillights, which I absolutely love the design on the taillights. They have this cool 3-dimensional look with all of the lights, definitely super unique. And then you have your Range Rover badge, and then your Velar P400 HSE badge here on the back. And they've got parking sensors all along the rear. Receiver hitch there at the very bottom. And then I love the coverings that go over the exhaust tips themselves. Definitely looks really good stylistically. But other than that, that is everything for the rear. Now let's go over the door panel here in the back of the Velar. So first off, we have this beautiful white leather with the white stitching that goes all throughout. And then you've got a bunch of metallic elements, including the door handle and the speakers, which contrast nicely to the white leather. I love the trim here. So right now it kind of looks brown, but when the sunlight hits it, it has this gold metallic effect to it. It looks really good. And then coming here to the seats in the back, notice that we've got the full leather seats. You've got the perforated leather right here. And then you have more kind of like black leather there in the center portion just to kind of break things up. And then here on the sides as well, they give you more black leather. Just love the design. But let's pop in. Ooh, headroom's really good. And then you guys can see that legroom is good as well. You've got the storage pocket right here. And then notice that we've got these controls down here at the bottom, which you can control the stuff like the climate system and all that, which I think, again, another nice premium luxury feature. And then now that we're in here, you can see the design here with the speaker a little bit better. It looks really good. And then notice there's a vent there. And then finally, if we pull this down, we've got an armrest with a couple cup holders. And you can charge some devices. It's like a 2-for-1 deal. Now this has got to be the coolest thing I've ever seen. You can see that you've got the coverings here, and it's on both of the seats. That is awesome. The integration in the Velar. Now here's the door panel in the front. Material-wise, it is identical to the rear, so you have all of the same elements. The only difference is you have all the controls for the windows up here, and then you've got the memory seat controls here for the front driver. And you can see the speakers look a little bit different. And then here are the seats at the front, so same beautiful leather. They have the same design as the seats in the rear with the white and black contrast. And then you've got all of your adjustments are on the side of the seat. We have our R dynamic plaque, and then we've got the pedal layout just here at the bottom, and then we've got that for the hatch. And other than that, there's one more look before we pop in. Here's the steering wheel in the Velar. So first off, it says Range Rover in the center, and then I love how even the airbag cover has beautiful leather and stitching. Got really nice leather all around, so it's smooth leather on the outside, perforated leather on the inside, so it definitely lends to an interesting grip experience. Feels really nice in your hands, actually. Got a cruise control here on this side, and then notice the nice metallic trim that goes all around. And we have controls for the voice commands, volume controls, all that kind of stuff on this side. And also, if you press it, it'll be controls for the center stack, so it's nice that it has that dual purpose. And then notice you've got these really nice paddle shifters here on the back of the steering wheel. You've got your stock there for the turn signal and lights, windshield wiper stock on the other side. And by the way, the steering wheel adjustment is over here on the right-hand side. It's opposite of most cars, but that's the steering wheel. Now we've got the center gauge cluster here. So again, we've got that button that we can press, and then we can scroll through the different menus here in the center. It's pretty basic stuff. It just gives you different bits of information on the vehicle. You can go through media, change the displays, settings, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but that's what the center portion does. And then I just love the look of the digital gauges on either side. Now we do have some different drive modes that we can go through, and we just have a screen that we can press that'll change the drive modes. Notice how it changes there on the gauge. So for example, that is the dynamic, and then we have an eco mode, and then we can go from that into normal, and we can go that to the grass, gravel, and snow, and then we go to the mud ruts, and then finally we go to the sand. And they don't call it drive mode, sorry, they call it programs. I love how they calls it programs rather than drive modes. Here's the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. We can go over the camera system. So we've got a bird's eye view, and then notice you've got the view at the rear with those trajectory lines. They do turn with the steering wheel. And notice how you can change it to off-road if you want, or you can change it to towing. I just love how it has the different modes there when you pop it into reverse. And when you pop it into drive, notice that it'll actually change the whole camera view. And then again, you can do the same exact thing. So you can change it to the off-road, for example, and then you can change it over into the towing. So yeah, I just think it's really neat that it does that for you, and then it gives you the front camera when you actually pop it into drive. The last thing I want to mention about the camera system is if you press these little icons here on the Velar, it'll actually change the camera view depending on what icon you actually pressed. So that's another neat thing of the camera function, is just all those little icons. You can do that. And then yes, you do get that viewpoint on top of that. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they give you this like 3D render. So yeah, camera system, solid. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time on the screen is really good, and there is a ton of features. I could literally make a whole video dedicated to this infotainment system just because of how much stuff it actually contains. I love how they have the vehicle dimensions, because again, this is an off-road ready vehicle, and so you need to know how big it is so you can know if you can fit in trails and all that. I do love the 4x4, which obviously it gives you a warning before you pop into that, but they just give you stuff like the altitude. For example, you guys can see we're at 4,200 feet right where we are, and then I love how it has wade sensing as well, and it tells you the maximum amount you can go. I don't know, there's just a ton of cool stuff. Again, I could have a whole video dedicated to the infotainment system, but what you guys need to know is it comes with a ton of cool tech, and response time's great, and it looks great. Yes, we have yet another screen. So this is kind of your bottom screen. Notice this is where you control the air suspension, so you can raise or lower the Velar. And then we have massaging seats as part of the Velar. And then also you have the heated seats just there at the top. And then we have the climate controls there on the side. So yeah, just a bunch of stuff. And if you're wondering, response time on this is just as good. So you press the buttons, it responds just as nice. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So if you want to turn on the seat, for example, press the on button. If you're like, I don't want to massage anymore, press the off button. And the thing that's cool is this right here is the adjustment for the massage. So you can go through all of the different levels of adjustment when you press that. But if you go out of the massage function and you press this in, then you can actually change what the adjustment is on each of these. So you can make it so it's the adjustment for the heated seats, for example. Or if I go over to the climate tab, I can make it so that it is the different adjustments for the climate system. Just really cool how these dials are integrated into all of the different functions. So we've got some more controls here. We have the shifter for the 8-speed automatic, pretty easy to use. So if you want to go into drive, pull it down for drive and then put it back in. P for park. This is the coolest thing though ever. Press that, pops open the cup holder. We do have hill descent control, stability control, and then a couple more things for the climate controls. We've got some more storage space here with a 12 volts, and then we have the center console here, which is pretty interesting. So it's two separate things right here on the top. So you basically can just lift them up. You have to do it individually with both of those, and then that opens up the center console, which you can see storage space in there is pretty good. You've got a couple of USBs and a 12 volts in there, but these stick at pretty much any single point that you leave them at until you throw them all the way down to the bottom. And then finally finishing things up, we've got the glove box, which is all lined with felt, and notice above it we've got more beautiful leather. You've got more of the black trim as well. Now up top here we have a full panoramic sunroof, and then we've got the controls for the sunroof just right here in that little area, and then we just have a traditional mirror, and that's all for the top. Now here's a window sticker for the Velar. So you can see 2021 Range Rover Velar R Dynamic. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read through all of the options that this particular one has. So this is the standard equipment if you're wondering. And then we can see that the base MSRP is $76,900, and then you can see all the options this particular one has from the factory. And then we can see the total MSRP right here. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. $90,290. Let's take this Velar out and see how she drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off here in the Velar. So first off, visibility over the hood's great, and now you can see the heads-up display. Here's your visibility through both the mirrors, and it does have blind spot monitoring. And then here's throughout the rest of the rear. So visibility in the Velar is actually pretty good for the design and all that kind of stuff. And that all being said, let's set off. We are setting off here in the Velar HSE, again with the inline 6. And first off, let's talk about the road noise and the ride quality. So from a ride quality perspective, with the air suspension and everything, it is exceptionally smooth. It definitely feels like a very, very nice luxury car, which again, if you're buying a vehicle in this segment, that's what you would expect and that's what you'd want, and the Velar definitely provides. In terms of the noise insulation, it's fantastic. Getting in this, you really don't hear a whole lot of outside noise. Everything's just very well damped, and again, we're in a busy city, right? We're in Salt Lake, in the heart of Salt Lake, literally, and it's just so quiet in the interior here. You do hear some nice sounds though from the inline 6. It actually sounds pretty characterful. I was surprised. Sometimes inline 6s sound good, sometimes they don't. This one definitely has a nice tone to it. And the throttle modulation is really good with the Velar. It's really progressive. And then also with the brakes as well, same situation with that. But stopping power is really good. We are like in the weirdest light situation in today's video. As soon as I stop, green light. That's my luck. Oh yeah, this transmission's very, very smooth. Let's get a little acceleration here with the Velar. That is really fast. That is very, very quick. I knew it was gonna be quick judging by the power figures, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that quick. Wow. It definitely, I mean, right, it's about 400 horsepower. It definitely feels that, if not stronger. I mean, that is very quick. And if you want to get out of the manual mode, just hold down on the plus paddle and then it'll put it back into the automatic mode. But let's get into summing things up here with the Velar. So first off, from an exterior aesthetics perspective, it is a very good looking vehicle on the outside. Just has beautiful lines. Every single angle on this SUV looks really nice and elegant. It definitely has that luxury SUV look. All right, there was a random guy that was yelling at people because they were driving through a green light and it distracted me. But anyways, The interior of the Velar is just as nice. It definitely feels like an upscale luxury interior. Everything feels very well put together, looks very nice. Everything that you touch just feels and looks, again, very, very nice. So they've nailed it from that perspective as well. And then in terms of just the driving overall, it's very smooth, very comfortable. But once you pop into that dynamic setting, it completely comes alive. It's very fast, very responsive. And so just overall, this new Velar is just absolutely fantastic. They made some subtle updates. Obviously, the biggest thing is they changed the powertrain. I definitely think it was a step in the right direction because this new powertrain is crazy with how it delivers power. It's a lot of fun. And so yeah, if you own a Velar and you're thinking about upgrading, I think it's worth it. And if you're looking at buying a Velar and you're kind of wondering what it's all about, it's a fantastic luxury vehicle that has a sporty edge as well. That's going to sum things up for our video on this 2021 Range Rover Velar. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover of Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Velar. Check out their inventory in the link below. I will see all of you in the next video.